What's going on, everyone? Chris from PickDawgz.com here with your morning show. It is Saturday, December 27th, 2025. We are through the holiday break. Now we start to go full steam ahead as we head towards the calendar turn to 2026. Got a full slate of bowl games today for college football. We've got full NBA card and NHL. Got some NFL on the board. So definitely a lot of action to talk about here, but got a couple of great handicappers with me to help break down the card, try to help everybody make some money today. Brian, how are you doing?
I've had better days. 1 and 2 last night. I feel like I got screwed on both of them. I had New Mexico, and their quarterback just pretty rough. It went to overtime, and congrats to Minnesota. They pulled out the W. And then the Philadelphia 76ers, they had their full squad last night, and they were in front of the Bulls for most of the game. But Chicago hit the shots late with under 2 minutes to go and just put that game away. And, that's how it is with gambling, or you can't win every single day. So I think this is one of the best cards we've had all year, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. Minus there's no college basketball, but other than that, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, you and me both. We had both the same games. I had New Mexico as my big play for college football yesterday, and
Ripped my heart out.
I had the Sixers on the board as well. I thought I looked at that game. I was like, "Oh, Sixers are up by double digits. Good. Let's roll." Then all of a sudden, I blink, and then I look, and they lose by 7. But like you said,
you can tell Edgecombe wasn't at the top. I guess he was playing sick, but you could kind of tell he wasn't hitting his shots, and he wasn't his normal self yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. But Jovan, how you doing?
Doing well. At least yesterday. Day before was a even day. But yeah, yesterday, ended up being on the plus side. College football plays 2-2. I don't know how I escaped that first half under that I had in the first game, because it was fumbles galore and interceptions galore for the CMU, the Chippewas. And it was, look, the first 20 minutes of that game, it was 0-0, and then Central Michigan decided to do what they did on offense, which was give up the ball, and it led to quick scores. So I had 21 and a half. It was 21-0. They held on, and we got the job done there. I was on the Chippewas also, so it was a 1-1 split on that. And then the second game I ended up hitting, and then the last game no dice because I was on the underdog. So yeah, 2-2 there. But the NBA 3-1, including my premium extendo clip, which is straight fire, 4-1 at a plus 822 hit. So Josh Giddey, 11 plus assists at 213. So hit big on that. Utah over, free money right there. And the Pelicans let it slip at the end. So other than that, yeah, NBA was a good day.
Ron, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Apologies for being late, man. Smack dab in the middle of a blizzard. So much fun here. It's just one of those mornings. It's like holy man. But sports wise, been pretty good. Can't complain about yesterday. Nice 3-1 day, 2-1 in the NBA. I took a shot with the Bucks. Figured it was a touch too many. They tried to hang around, and then Memphis just pulled away late. Won by 15-16 in there. Just couldn't. They tried to hang in. It shows what they were missing a couple pieces. The Bucks are gonna have to make some moves at the trade deadline. And then the Clippers. Hey, Clippers won 3 straight. Don't look now. Clippers are starting to play some basketball again. That was my big play of the day. And in the one bowl game at the over, I think it was a no doubter there. FIU in the late game. We had 60-something points on that one. 65, 67. And I had the over in that one. So 3-1 day. Can't complain. Loaded card today. Looking forward to it. Lots of spots to make some money. So exciting card today. Let's get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I had took a couple frustrating losses yesterday. Like I said, the New Mexico and I took a shot on FIU money line. So I was like, UTSA, they got a lot of opt outs, and you listen to some of the coaching press conferences going into that. You think, you hear a lot of what these coaches are saying. They're like, no, these guys may not show up. And no, it was 14-0. All of a sudden you blink and it's 57-20. And I'm like, okay, well, that's okay. It's bowl season for you, but we'll get right back to it today. So we've got a lot of action on the board today. We're going to start with just see if anyone has any thoughts in this matchup between Stanford and Cal State Northridge. Stanford laying 17 here. Total 164.5. Brian, anything from this game?
I'm taking a Ruffolo.
Ruffolo, okay. Javon, anything for you here?
She's absolutely nothing, but I don't want to lay it with Stanford. Let's just say that.
Rod, anything for you from this college hoops?
Tough one, right? You're laying, it's a 16.5. You want to lay 16.5 with the Stanford squad that in their home games this year, 4-4 ATS wise, 6-2. I'd have to lean into Northridge plus the point, but lean at best. I'm not rushing to the window to bet this game. Tough game. There's some better ones moving forward, but I would have to lean to Northridge. There's just too many points for Stanford to be laying.
Yeah, I'm with Brian here. There was really nothing for me in this one.
There's no reason to force anything, right, Chris? With all these games that we've got.
Yeah, there's like you said, there's so much more that's on the board. So we can definitely look elsewhere. But just in case anybody did have any thoughts on it, because I know people could probably ask about it. We do have a video for this game over on the YouTube channel, so definitely make sure that you check that out. But we'll look at the NHL card. Get the NHL up, and we got 13 games from the NHL. We've got let's see here. We've got the Islanders and the Rangers. We've got the Maple Leafs and the Senators, Battle of Ontario. We got the New Jersey Devils and the Washington Capitals. We got the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. We got the Winnipeg Jets and the Minnesota Wild, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Detroit Red Wings. Got the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Battle of Florida. We got the Nashville Predators, the worst name in sports, against the St. Louis Blues. We got the Dallas Stars minus 350 favorites at home against the Chicago Blackhawks. The Los Angeles Kings and the Anaheim Ducks. The Battle of Alberta, Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers. We got the Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, and the Vancouver Canucks, and the San Jose Sharks. And if you have any World Junior plays as well, you can mention that too. Brian, what do you like? What do you like from the hockey card today?
I'll have to steal this one probably from Rod and take his favorite team, the Calgary Flamers, here on the money line. I think they get some revenge from Edmonton that just beat them. They've been playing better hockey, the Flames. I like the Tampa Bay Lightning on the money line over Florida. The Panthers are red hot, Chris's favorite team, but I just like this price with Tampa Bay to get some. I think. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, they lost that 5-2 game on the 15th, so I think Tampa Bay gets the W tonight.
Right, anything from the ice for you here?
Yeah, for me, a couple. I'm going to take the draw here. New York Rangers and New York Islanders battle in New York. I think it's going to be one of those close tight games. Rangers play their better hockey out on the road. The Islanders, they're playing pretty good hockey, 6-3-1. Playing the better hockey right now over the last 10. That break helped the Rangers, but as I said, they play their better hockey out on the road, and sometimes these two teams need a little bit extra time. So I'm going to take a shot there on the draw in the Battle of New York. And you look, man, how many times? It's a few losses for Ottawa coming into Toronto. I don't think they've fared so well heading into Toronto, but is this that spot that they can finally end that streak? I think it is. I'd have to lean to Ottawa there in that matchup. I'm going the other way. If any broke, don't fix it. I'm going to kick the crap out of the Calgary Flames. Like the Oilers in that spot. This is it's a Battle of Alberta. I'm not betting Calgary in this spot at all. If you've seen the last meeting, it was pretty chippy at the end of that game. It got pretty scrappy. Some gloves were dropped, some punches were thrown. It was looking like the old Battle of Alberta. And even the Calgary guys have spoke up and said, we've been just getting our butt whooped by these Oilers for it hasn't really been a series. So I think, as you did say, Calgary does step up here, but I don't know if it's enough. You got to be Leon and Connor, and those guys have been lights out over the last 6 games. That duo has just been lighting the lamp and crashing the points. So for me, it's the Oilers, but it's a lower scoring game. I think we see one of those hard hitting, lower scoring ones. 1 to 3 type game wins that one. So give me the under 6.5 as well. And then another one I'm looking at here is look at the way Boston limped into the break, giving up 6 goals, 5 goals. I think injuries have finally caught up to Boston. I think we're seeing some regression. We're also seeing that Swayman had himself a great start, but can he continue up that torrid pace and that workload that he's been having to deal with and keep Boston in games? I think we're starting to see total regression there. I'll take Buffalo. And then one more. Late night SWAT, eh? Look at Colorado. They can't lose games, right? Yes, they can. They can go into Vegas and get themselves the big old L. That looks like a too good of a price to be laying with Colorado. Mostly they've been minus 200, minus 250s. Not a whole coin flip price on Colorado. I don't think you can. They want you to do that there. I'll take Vegas here on the money line. I think they get the job done and upset Colorado there in that matchup. You are liking hockey.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Stars and the puck line here. It's not the best price. The problem is that right now the Chicago Blackhawks just look like they're missing Connor Bedard, and he's gonna come back sooner rather than later. But the Stars, for being a team earlier on this year that couldn't beat teams by more than a goal at home, they've started to string the wins together. Chicago just really struggling right now, so I'm going to take Chicago Dallas over Chicago now. I'm going to take Dallas in the puck line. I'm going to take Toronto here. I know it's a playoff revenge spot for Ottawa here, but I think that the Leafs are just basically in must-win mode for the next little bit. This Toronto team, if you've been listening to the tea leaves in this Toronto market, a lot of people are saying it feels eerily similar to the team that Craig Berube coached to the Cup with St. Louis, where they really struggled through much of the season and then kind of turned it on in the second half and ended up winning the whole thing. I'm not saying it's going to happen with Toronto. It's just, I think at a certain point, Toronto's going to start stringing the wins together, rattling a few off. And, like I said, for a playoff revenge for Ottawa, Toronto still hates the Ottawa Senators. So I think Toronto shows up here, gets it done. And one more I'll roll with here. I'll take Nashville. The Preds are playing some decent hockey going into the Christmas break. I still get a decent price to fade the St. Louis Blues, even at home. I think Nashville gets it done in this one. So give me the Predators on the money line. We'll move on to the college football card.
Nice.
We got decent college football card here as well. It's going to be tough because like I said, there's a lot of opt-outs and everything you kind of got to navigate through, but we'll do our best with the information that we do have. Let me just do a quick refresh here. We've got some of these games are just head scratchers. We've got the Military Bowl with Pitt and East Carolina. East Carolina now up to a 14.5 point favorite. We got the Pinstripe Bowl, Penn State and Clemson. Clemson laying 2.5. We got the Fenway Bowl with UConn and Army. Army laying 7.5. And we'll go through the afternoon ones. We got the Pop-Tarts Bowl, everyone's favorite. Georgia Tech and BYU laying 3.5, and Miami, Ohio, and Fresno State in the Arizona Bowl at 4:30 Eastern. Fresno laying 5.5. Jovan, any of these first few college football do it for you?
That first one's a nasty game. Pitt and ECU. ECU's dealing with what? Opt-outs. what coaching changes, all that stuff. I'm, I guess you could say Pitt is the more stable program going into this bowl game, but I don't want to lay this many points with the Panthers. It's shot up this morning, what, to 13.5. By default, I would be on ECU, but it's not a game I'm interested in whatsoever. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Penn State Clemson, I would like to take the first half under. Um, in a lot of these games, these first half unders have been hitting. I will say that. And when it comes to these bowl games, my thoughts in a general sense would be that things get pretty volatile in the second half, depending on how these games are playing out, especially if one team is up by a substantial margin. That leads to the other team trying to chase points and going forward on fourth down in minus territory, which leads to points the other way if they don't get it. So, if you're dealing with unders, you don't want to back or under full game, just in that scenario. And this is the year in year out with these bowl games. That's how I look at it. Um, with that said, in this game, I think it's going to be a highly contested ball game. Um, opt outs aside, I still think that this one stays under the 23.5 first half. Uh, I think we do see points in Georgia Tech and BYU. That's my only thoughts in this one. Um, you know, Georgia Tech, Haynes King making his last start, so he's going to want to put on a performance. Can he do it against BYU, their physical team? Who knows? But I think BYU can move the ball against Georgia Tech, so I think we do see a back and forth affair. I'll take the over in that one. And I'm on Fresno State. I'm not going to back it. I'll give it out, but really don't have any strong thoughts. I like to fade the Mac. That's really the long and the short of it. So and the time I haven't faded the Mac, it smacked me yesterday. So I'll be back fading the Mac.
Rob, what do you like for these first two bowl games?
And looking at these first three bowl games, definitely not a great slate. Hey, I figured Penn State and Clemson at the start of the year would be this would be maybe a playoff matchup, but nope. Both these teams having down years, and we see Clemson. Did everybody flee there? I think the only guy sticking around is good old Cade Klubnik. Is he going to get clubbed today? A good chance. He's going to have to do with some guys that he's not familiar with. So I like the under there. I think it's a lower scoring battle. Penn State, definitely same thing. They had a bunch of opt-outs as well, but I think depth-wise it shows that they have a little more depth on that defense. So I'll take the under 47.5 there in Penn State and Clemson. And another one I like here, I like – you're looking at UConn here taking on Army. I'll lay it with Army. I think they win by 10+. UConn had a lot of checkouts. UConn's one of those teams that's transfer portal gets you. Why? Because you're one of those lower-ranked teams. Making the playoffs going to be tough, but you've definitely got some talent. And you can see that a lot of that talent, I think there's a laundry list of about 10 guys that have taken off from UConn in that matchup because they're just that NIL money. Out you go. You get a better it's kind of like the lower tier what we see in college football is you see these lower tier teams get fleeced at this time of year with the transfer portal. So I think Army, I'll lay the 7.5 here. I know a bunch of money's come in on UConn thinking they can still keep it close even without all those guys that have opted out, transfer portal type of stuff. I think it's just too much to ask for a UConn team to come together that quickly to take on an Army team that is still pretty much solidly intact. It's just what Army does. I'll lay the 7.5 there on that one. And then looking at Georgia Tech taking on BYU. I'm taking under here. I think this opened 56.5. It's down to 55.5. I think both squads love to run the ball. Basically, the question marks is this Georgia Tech defense going to give up the 40 that they have over the last couple of games? Sure, you're missing some guys defensively on this Georgia Tech team that we have seen where they have fallen off the cliff defensively. But I think your next man up steps up here. And I think you see BYU with those long drives that they love to run the ball, and I think it just chews the clock. Georgia Tech, Haynes King running the offense. I don't think he's got the guys to be chucking the ball miles down the field and turn this into an air raid game. Like the under 55.5. He's the lower scoring one here.
Yeah, the two I'll go with here. I'm going to go under 52.5 Pitt, East Carolina. I think the only offense that Pitt was going to muster up in this game is on the ground, and Desmond Reed, running back for Pitt, I think he's opting out for this one. On the other side, you got East Carolina quarterback Caden Hauser. He was the linchpin of this offense. He was the one that had it running, and he's not playing in this bowl game. He's in the transfer portal, as is one of their best receivers and one of their best tight ends. Not only that, but both coordinators for East Carolina are heading to different jobs as well. So I think the under is play here. I don't see a ton of points in this game. The other one for me, I'm taking Penn State in the points against Clemson. Both these teams have a ton of opt-outs. Dabo Sweeney said that he's expecting to have 27 players miss this game because of injury or opt-outs, including 8 starters who played in the final game of the season, the regular season. Penn State, we also know we know about the issues this team had, but they actually played well down the stretch. So did Clemson, but I still think that Penn State can at least keep this one respectable, maybe win this game. It's one of those games where there's just so much variance that I'd want the 2.5 points in my back pocket with Penn State here. But I do like that under as well in this one. Brian, what do you like in these first 5?
Well, I'll tell you what, I had Army written down as a premium pick today. I was ready to go with it. It's just there's so much on the board today. I didn't want to have a million premium picks, but I think the line tells you what you need to know. UConn here, 9-3, and they're 8-1 straight up last 9. That number, even with all their opt-outs, is still very tempting to the bettors out there. I got in early today at 8. It's -7.5 on Army, and I'm feeling good. I think it's a double-digit win for them. I'm going to lean to Clemson minus the points. I think it's I've been going back and forth in this game. I think Clemson overall, what were they to finish out the season? I think they finished a little bit better than Penn State. I think they got a better overall depth, even with all their guys that are going to miss action today. So I'll take Clemson over Penn State. Just a lean, though.
All right. Well, we'll look at these final few college football games. We've got here we go. North Texas and San Diego State in the New Mexico Bowl. We've got Virginia and Missouri in the Gator Bowl. We've got the Houston Cougars and the LSU Tigers in the Texas Bowl. It's near Pick'em in that one, 1.5 for Houston. Total 41.5. And those are the final 3 games of the board. Missouri is laying 4, total of 43.5, and North Texas laying 6.5, total of 53.5. Rod, any of these final 3 games that you like?
Yeah, looking at these ones, I'm going to take the over here in North Texas, San Diego State. We see a bunch of offense in this game. 52.5 seems a little bit light. I think we get into the 60s between these two squads. I think they both can score some points here in this one. I think defense is definitely going to be optional in that one. A lot of points for North Texas to be laying. You do see they are the better team this season so far, but I don't know. I think I'm leaning to the Aztecs now that it's up to 7. Is that there? But I like the over as a play. Give me the over 52.5. And then the Tigers taking on Virginia. I like Virginia's defense here. I think they're able to slow up Mizzou. I don't want to be laying 4 with Mizzou there. The Tigers. I'll take UNLV. And what's going to be a lower scoring game there? You look, it's 43. The totals of 43. I love taking the dog on these lower scoring matchups. So Virginia got the horses to win it outright. I don't know. They finished down the stretch pretty strong, 8-2 to finish their season up here to get into this bowl game. Give me Virginia plus the 4 there in what's going to be a low scoring battle. 2 I like there.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Diego State. I'm going to take a money line here. I'm going to take 6.5 if you want to, but I'm going to take the 6.5 points. I mean, I do see that a lot of the guys like, Drew Mestamaker is supposed to go here for North Texas. But they do have some opt-outs. Caleb Hawkins, one of their best running backs. A couple of wide receivers. The thing for me is, how many of these guys are going to follow Eric Morris to Oklahoma State? So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of North Texas pieces there. And even then, this North Texas defense was leaky for a lot of the season. They relied on the offense to win a lot of their games. They're going up against the best defense in the Mountain West in San Diego State. Now, San Diego State, they're not going to have their starting quarterback, Jaden Denegal. But I think the San Diego State defense is going to be the best unit on the field in that game. And I think it could win this game for them like it did for a lot of the season. So give me San Diego State plus a 6.5 and plus 190 on the money line. Brian?
Yeah, I think in this grouping of games here, I'll take the Virginia Cavaliers plus the points. It's not the bowl game that the squad wanted to be in, but Missouri really wasn't playing great football down the stretch. I believe 1-3 straight up or so. I think it comes down to a field goal game here, so I'll take the 3.5 here with the Cavaliers.
Javon, what do you like here?
Yeah, I'll also be on Virginia. The only thing is that this line has, from its opener at least went down from 7 to 4, 3.5, somewhere around there. So it's gonna go down that much. I mean, take the spread, but you might as well take the money line as well. So that's how I look at games where there's the line moves substantially. You might as well go to full ball and take the money line. But it's not a game that I'm particularly interested in either way, because Virginia, wasn't they weren't playing all that well going into this bowl game. But I do like the North Texas San Diego State under. I think it's set this total for a reason. If you look at North Texas when they play representable defenses, they kind of struggled in certain spots. So I can see San Diego State's defense, being stout for most of this game, and it being a dogfight. So I'll take the under.
All right. Move on to the NBA. Got a total of 9 games, I believe, if my memory serves me right. Yeah, so we'll go. Yeah, we'll go full card because they're all kind of bunched up. We got the Mavs laying 3 on the Kings. Total said 232.5. We got the Denver Nuggets on the road against the Orlando Magic. Denver laying 4. We got the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans. Phoenix laying Phoenix laying 5.5. Total set at 237.5. We've got the Chicago Bulls laying 2.5 at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. We've got the Miami Heat laying 8.5 at home against the Indiana Pacers. The San Antonio Spurs laying 16.5 against the Utah Jazz. The Houston Rockets laying 4 at home against Cleveland. We got the Knicks laying 6.5 on the road against the Atlanta Hawks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves laying 11 at home against the Brooklyn Nets. Brian, what do you like here?
Oh boy, in this group in the games here, I'm going to take the Orlando Magic plus the points against the Denver Nuggets. I know I've been burned a bunch of times by Orlando this year. I just believe they're one of the best teams in the East. This is a good chance for a statement win for them at home. They might not get the W, but they should be able to keep it within a possession. And then let me see here. Another one I'm going to go with is the Cleveland Cavaliers plus the points here against one of the best teams in basketball. But I think we've seen Cavaliers recently playing some better basketball. I know Houston had some big marquee road wins here, but I think, again, this one stays within the possession. I'm going to take the points with the Cavs.
Jovan, what do you like here?
I don't want to do it, but I have to. It's gonna have to be Sacramento in this one. No AD going for the Mavericks. It looked like they were, getting out of this slump. Then they taking some hits, and now they don't have him. I don't like that. He protects the middle for those guys, and with PJ Washington being the guy that has to step up in that spot, I don't like it. I think that guys like Russell Westbrook are gonna get in the lane, get some easy looks at the basket, and with them being home dogs, I'll back them in this spot. Um, I know that San Antonio, they've done their thing against OKC. They're, one of the top ATS teams out there. But coming off of that win, I do think that Utah, at least in the beginning of the game, starts off, with a continuation from last night and come out hot, whereas the Spurs might be sluggish. So with that said, I will be on them in the first quarter, plus 5.5, and on the money line at 270. And I think it's worth a shot, given the circumstances in this one.
Rob, what do you like here?
Every year in the NBA, we're looking at the Spurs lay at 16.5. Okay, I'll lay with the Spurs in the 16.5. I think they win by 20 plus. That much the better squad there. I'm not trusting the Jazz here on the back-to-back end in the spot on the road. Jazz play their better hoops at home. Another one I like here. I like the Bucks here in the first half of this matchup. We've seen the Bulls play yesterday. Pulled out a win late there in that one. So they're on the back-to-back as well with the Bucks. Bucks, no Giannis yesterday, as I said, with Memphis. Kind of tried to hang in there, but I think with Giannis back, I think he has himself a good first half. Bulls is a favorite. Have lost 9 straight first halves as a favorite. So I'll take the Bucks money line first half. Another one I like here I'm with Brian. Give me the Cavs here plus the 4. They like Cavs have been Jekyll and Hyde all season long. That first half been awful. If they play like they have the last 3 games, that's what we expected to see from the Cavs. That playoff team last year. If they come in and play like that, it's going to be tough to beat for anybody to beat this Cavs squad. And I think this is one of those games they're going to get up and be like, hey, don't forget us. I think they're a money line play there. I'll take the Cavs on the money line. I think they can outright the Rockets in that matchup. Another one I like. Pelicans, second half of a back-to-back. No, not doing that. No way. They didn't. They tried to hang in that game yesterday and hang around in the back-to-back. I know the Suns laying it out on the road. Not my favorite spot to be laying it with them, but I think they win by 10 plus. I'll grab the Suns in that matchup. And then, where is it? One more here. I like the Sacramento Kings in that first half. I think they come out, even if you take a full game, too. Nothing wrong with that. Dallas dealing with some issues. Dallas against the Western Conference hasn't fared so well covering the spread, especially as a favorite there. 7 straight losses in that one. But I think you can grab him there in the first half, money line. The Kings have the lead heading into the locker room at the half. And then so one more later. Nah, I think that's it for the NBA.
All right. Well, for me, the two I got here, I'm going to lay it with the Houston Rockets. I can't get there with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs for me are, I've said it before, the Sacramento Kings of a couple years ago, where they had that one really good season. The Kings kind of came out of nowhere to win the Pacific Division, and then the next year they couldn't live up to expectation, just kind of, coasted through the regular season. And I think they made the play-in tournament. I can't remember, but Cleveland kind of giving me the same vibes. They went, they had that massive year last year, and this year, 17-15, 9-23 against the spread. They're beating teams they should beat: New Orleans, Charlotte, Washington. But when they've had to take the step up in class and spots, they've fallen flat. And I think Houston unless I have a reason to fade the Houston Rockets at home, I'm not going to. So I'm going to take Houston, lay the 4.5 there. And I'm going to take the Brooklyn Nets plus the 11. This feels like the kind of game where the Minnesota Timberwolves live up to the name, the House of Disappointment, because they step up against good teams, but they play with their food against the bad teams. And the Brooklyn Nets have been scrappy. They've been able to, be feisty as a dog. And we're starting to see them put together some competitive performances. So I'm going to take Brooklyn here plus the 11 points. But we'll move on to what the hell happened there? There we go. Go on to the NFL. Unfortunately, the graphics got messed up for it, so I don't have any graphics for the NFL. But we still have the lines here. We still have the odds current up to date. We've got the Chargers laying 1.5 at home against the Houston Texans, total 39.5, and the Green Bay Packers laying 3 at home against the Baltimore Ravens, total of 38.5. Jovan, what do you like in these two NFL games today, if anything?
Yeah, tough games. A lot's on the line for, not to say a lot's on the line, because I believe both of these teams, and the Texans and the Chargers, are in line for the playoffs. It's just seeding that's the main thing. They both can get their division, with some help by the leaders in those two divisions. So it's going to be a hotly contested ball game. With that being said, I would like to be on the under full game. You got two strong defenses. Texans, they're top tier. That's how they win ball games. So they're gonna play it close to the best as far as offensive, football. You're dealing with the Chargers team who, they bring it as well on defense. So with my opinion being that this is going to be a close game, neither team is going to have a two-score lead. I think that, as this game wears on, we're going to see scoring grind out to a halt. So I'll take the under, 39.5.
Rob, what do you like here?
For me here in this match, in these games, I'm looking at one for you guys. I'm looking at Green Bay here in the first half. You only have to lay 2. I think they come out the more hungry team to grab that win. They're at home here. Looks like Jacobs most likely he goes here for this Green Bay squad. So even without Love, I think you run the ball against a Baltimore squad that, hey, I don't know. They look like they're just bobbled. I think you've got some issues there. Lamar's he's not a happy guy, disgruntled. You got a Baltimore team that you got to look at that. Is this where they expected to finish this season? No chance. Injuries got to them. This is one of those seasons they'd love to put behind them. Are they here to come to Green Bay to play a spoiler role? I don't know. I think Green Bay is the hungrier squad here in this one, and I'm only laying 2 here in the first half. I'll lay with Green Bay here. I think they come out the more motivated team in this one, and having to lay less than a field goal. I think they have the lead heading into that into the halftime show in that one. So give me Green Bay minus the 2, and then I agree, Houston and the Chargers. I think it's an under all day. This has got 17-14 written all over it. So give me the under 39.5. I think the defense is shine. It's going to be one of those trench wars between those two squads. And you also got to look that the Chargers got a bigger game next week coming up. It might be a look-ahead spot for the Chargers. So I don't know. Can Houston come in and snag a win? Possible. I think the dog is live there in that one as well. But I like the under as the play.
Yeah, I like the under, but I like Houston plus the points. I think coming into that game, I said to myself I wanted to be on the side catching points in that game. And bottom line is you have 2 top-tier defenses, but I think Houston's offensive line is healthier. I think they're going to be able to keep C.J. Stroud upright a little bit more. This is going to be an interesting one because the Chargers, they got to win out to if they win this game and they can win next week, they would overtake Denver for the AFC West and the top seed in the AFC. But Houston's no slouch, and they're fighting for it themselves. And like I said, I think that the difference is going to be the offensive line here, and I think it's going to be the edge for Houston. So I'll roll with the Texans in that one. I lean towards Green Bay, but again, laying 3 with Malik Willis. No thanks. I just think it's still telling that Green Bay is still favored, despite that quarterback news. So nothing for me there. Just Houston in the under. Brian?
I don't know. I think if I wouldn't have put out the Baltimore Ravens as my free pick today on my video, I would definitely have it as a premium. I think everybody and their mom has the Green Bay Packers here laying the points. We've got 2 backup quarterbacks going at it, but they're in Green Bay, a 9-5 Packers team, everything to play for, and they're only 3-point favorites. I don't know. To me, I think the Baltimore Ravens come in here and at least I think they steal the win, but I'm going to take the points for safety. I think we see a shocker here in Lambeau. Derrick Henry is scoring an anytime touchdown. He's been fumbling lately.
All right. Well, it does it. We went through the whole card. Still about 40 minutes. Still did pretty well. Speed ran through everything.
Well, you're always good at running everything, Chris. So, what's your favorite kind of Pop-Tart? If you had to pick,
I was going to ask that earlier, but I didn't want to.
I like the cinnamon Pop-Tart. I like the cinnamon. That's my favorite Pop-Tart.
I'm either strawberry or raspberry.
Yeah, I like blueberry. I'm going to be the oddball guy. I love the blueberry one. I don't know. It's just got that flavor. I just love the blueberry one. Gotta got the frosting too, and not those plain ones.
No, Javon's got to say he likes the toaster strudels, not the Pop-Tarts.
No, absolutely not. Pop-Tarts, I grew up on that. It's only been strawberry. Can't take the other flavors. I mean, other flavors are okay, but strawberry frosted. It could be frosted. It could be non-frosted. It could be the old school non-frosted. Doesn't matter, Strawberry all day.
Do you actually toast them, or do you eat them cold?
I used to toast them as a kid. Don't toast them anymore. But yeah,
right.
Yeah, they don't last. They don't last. They don't last that long to make it into the toaster.
Right.
Brian's the kind of guy that eats the toaster strudel sideways. I mean, I don't know.
Now, see, I used to take all the icing packets out when I was a kid, and then when my sisters would come to make the toaster strudel, they didn't have any icing to put on, and I'd have to hear about it. So,
You'd be the guy that takes all 6 icings out of it and puts it on one?
Yep.
Yeah.
That explains so much.
All right.
That explains so much and nothing at all at the same time. But Brian, speaking of toaster strudel, what do you have going on over at PickDawgz Premium today?
I believe it's going to be one of my best days of the year. Normally, I don't do 7 premium picks, but I got 3 in the NBA, 2 in college football, and 1 in the NHL, 1 in the NFL. If you want all my plays, I got a private player 7-pack over at PickDawgz.com. Ranked number 1 last 365 days in all sports profit. But you just want my best bet, that's my titanium. 66 and 34, 66% winners last 100. And that's my bowl game of the year, my number 1 college football play this year so far. Get it at PickDawgz.com.
Definitely check Brian out over at PickDawgz Premium. Javon, what do you got going on? What do you got going on over at PickDawgz Premium?
Yeah, as of right now, I have 4 plays in college football, 2 3-packs between those, separated by 1 game. We'll have some basketball up, and we'll have 1 NFL play up. Had a strong day yesterday, looking to, put a winning streak together for that. It's been a rough December, slipping and sliding, but and it's been stops and starts, because every time I think I have a winning streak going, and I have, it'd be the 4th day that no, it's not going to happen, and then slide down again. But listen, with the new year approaching, and this being the main bowl season, main bowl games coming into the fray, look for the wins to start happening. NBA's been picking up. Let's get it. Jump on something long term.
Yeah, definitely check Jovan out over at PickDawgz Premium. Rob, what do you got for sale today over at PickDawgz Premium?
I'm going over to Pick Dawgz Premium. I got 7 plays in total. I'm going to put in a couple more in the NBA that I've noticed that definitely got to go in as premium. So 2 more plays there. I'll have 9 in total. I've got a 3-pack in the college football side of things. We went on a nice little run, college football, 20-10 run. On his capper over the last month here at Pick Dawgz in the college football side of things. So definitely scoop up that 3-pack, or I've got my 10-star college football play of the month available singly. Absolutely love that play. I've got my NHL bottle rocket play of the day, favorite play in the NHL. I've got an NFL Gold Star play up there as well. And as I said, a couple more NBA plays. So 9 plays in total for today's action. And we don't, so to not miss on anything, jump aboard that long-term pass, take advantage 2-for-1 capital promotional as well. Can't go wrong with that. Back-to-back winning days, looking to stay hot, make it 3 straight. So let's get it. Looking forward to today's cards.
Yeah, definitely check Rod out over at PickDawgz Premium. For me today, 8 plays in total, 2 college football, including my 10-star college football big play. Really love today's college football card and really locked in on the plays that I have on the board today. I also got a bonus play in there for long-term subscribers, but the 10-star play might be my favorite play of bowl season. Actually, it is my favorite play of bowl season so far, and might be my favorite once bowl season's wrapped up this season. I have a couple more that I'm really sort of keyed in on, but this one's really, really strong. So definitely make sure that you check that out. And I also got a NHL power play and my Zamboni 5-pack for the NHL today. So if you want to make some money on the ice, definitely scoop any of those up, or, you know, like Rod said, hop on a long-term pass, pair any of us up, or pair all of us up, whatever you want to do, but use that promo code PICK at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. But gentlemen, it's that time of the show. Parlay time. Ryan, what do you got for a parlay for the people today?
I got to find out who Chris's top play is after this. I'm going to go scoop that one up right when we get off of here. But I got a 5-game parlay that I'm going to put $100 on today. I'm going to take Army minus the 8.5, Virginia Cavaliers plus 3.5, Baltimore Ravens plus 3, Orlando Magic plus 4, and the Cleveland Cavaliers plus 4. I love those 5 plays today.
Jovan, what do you like for a parlay today?
Utah Jazz, first quarter, money line. You could take the points, but for this, it'll be the money line. Match it up with Penn State Clemson under first half. And then for a second one, it will be Virginia Cavaliers, money line. And match it up with North Texas, San Diego State under.
Rob, what do you like for a parlay today?
We're going to do a 4-teamer, mixed sport. First one, NBA, Cavs, plus the points. Bucks, money line, first half. And then we're going to throw in Army, lay the points. I think they win by double digits. And then on the ice, we're going to throw in that late game. We're going to throw in the Vegas Golden Knights. 4-teamer for you.
Rob's going to throw in the Flames. I was getting ready for it.
No.
Changed his
Don't
mind.
do it.
I'll take the Dallas Stars on the puck line. Take the Brooklyn Nets plus the points. And San Diego State plus the points. 3-teamer. All right, does it. Brian, any final words before we sign off for the day?
Well, I look forward to coming on tomorrow and hanging out with everybody after I go 7-0 today. We'll see. I catch them. Just as long as I have a winning day, I'll be happy. I should say that.
Jovan, anything for you?
Yeah, let's close out this year with a slew of wins. It's the 27th. Got 4 more days of winning, so let's get it done.
Rod?
Definitely. How much you want? Let's finish off the year strong. And 2025 on a big old winning streak. So let's get to it with 2 days in a row for me. Let's finish it off with a 6-day winning streak. So, hey, let's get to it. Make it a winning one, everybody. Be nice to a neighbor, nice to a friend. Hold the door for the senior. Don't let it slap at people's faces. See that too many times these days. Be nice. Hold the door.
Are people not holding the door for you, Rod? What's going on?
Not me. It's other
You
people.
said seniors.
I've seen.
I was
Yeah,
thinking of you.
I know. I'm getting up there, senior, right? Someone needs to hold the door for me. But I've seen it a lot.
People don't have manners anymore. It's because they're not being raised right. That's the problem.
Is that what it is? It's just like, man, I see the senior and they got the walk and they're getting to the door and then somebody comes whipping in front of them the door. I was like, wham, right in the face. And I was like, wow, what the heck was that? Like, come on, man. Do better.
He had it coming.
I guess. He stole what did he do?
Stole my parking spot.
He could have. You know what? Those seniors, they're tricky. They whip right in there, steal your spot.
Crotchety old prick. Anyways. I didn't say that. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you. We will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Like I said, hopefully we'll have a few of us have had a winning day. All of us have a winning day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And let's make some money today. Best of luck. See you guys soon.